Hi, Dad.
Hello.
So, what is that?
This is a Aiello bullet roaster.
What is that? What does bullet roaster mean?
It means it's a large, professional equivalent roaster for home roasting. It'll roast up to 1 kilo. I have about...
Did you say 1 kilo?
1 kilo, about 1.5 pounds right now in there, which is an ideal amount.
Is it your?
And I'm preheating it right now.
It looks like
It says preheat, and it says the beam temperature in centigrade, and the drum temperature, and then it's on the heat, cool.
But
heat.
you haven't even said what you're roasting. You said kilo. I'm thinking it's your drugs.
Coffee.
That's not your drug of choice?
That's my drug of choice.
So what kind of beans do you use? How do you even know what to put in there?
Put any bean you want, and you try it.
Pinto bean? Only coffee beans go in there. What color?
Green beans.
Green beans.
They are raw beans.
Where do you get them from?
I get them online.
But that's not where they come from.
From a broker. This one.
But where do they actually come from?
This actually is a Brazilian bean.
But where do you have others from? What does it mean to be
all over the world? I've got them from all the continents. I've roasted Sumatran, which is an Asian bean. I've got Panama beans. I've roasted different Mexican beans.
And how Mexican jumping beans?
Kenya, Tanzania.
How long have you been doing this for?
13 years.
That long?
14 years.
No.
Yeah, but not on this roaster.
This
roaster is only about 6 months old.
This is your baby? Why this? So this one's better, new and improved.
Because there's way more control of what you do with the roaster machine.
What's become your favorite, and why?
Of the beans?
Yeah, you just rotate with whatever.
They're all different. I mean,
and you do different temperatures, like different light roast, dark roast, medium roast.
Right. And you can hook it up to a computer, and you can actually roast based on the pattern of the computer and the profile. If you see the graph of the bean actually heating and roast turning. But I haven't done much of that. I just go by color, sound of the crack of the bean, and the time that I've roasted it. And so I watch it. Here's something called a trier.
But see, here's my question also. Why is roasting your own beans that much better? Can you control the level of mold? See, a lot of coffee beans now they discover carry a lot of mycotoxins and mold. How do you know that yours are clean and pure and mycotoxin free and free of mold? Do you know any of that?
Yeah, you burn it up is what you do.
You sure?
When you expose it to this amount of temperature, you're killing the mold in there.
How do you know that?
Because you're talking about 390 degrees Fahrenheit. That's enough to...
So you're saying still it's fresher is better because you're drinking them and using them freshly roasted from
yeah.
And are they organic anyway? Are they from organic sources?
Organic is not really regulated well.
Right. So is it fair trade then?
It's all fair trade.
Okay. How fair?
So what I'm going to do, the bean temperature is
that your hat?
202 degrees. But I'm going to go ahead and dump it in anyway.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it on for preheating.
So you had to heat it up ahead of time. Oh, is it talking? Does it have a bean GPS? What if you put brownies in there? What if you put cacao beans in there? Would they roast them into chocolate? David? No. How do you know that?
It's roasting now.
Would it ruin them? Let me just get a little... And then how long do you leave them in there for?
Depends on the color and the cracking of the bean and the temperature.
Give me an example around, roughly.
10 to 15 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
But then you have to let them sit before... You couldn't grind them right away and make a cup of coffee.
Cool them as they come out.
But how soon could you make a cup of coffee after they come out?
24 hours is the earliest.
Show me some beans. Do you have some that you roasted that we could see what they look like after they've roasted?
I've got a couple of different kinds right here.
What's that?
This is a Brazilian roast. It's a medium roast from Brazil.
Brazil. Medium.
Here's a Sumatran bean. That's a light roast from Sumatra.
Ooh. And as people may or may not know,
And here's some of the green beans if you want to see what a green bean looks like.
the lighter the roast, the higher caffeine. Right? Looks like dog food.
Yeah.
Is that dog food?
See, there's the green bean. They swell. They're larger than this after they're roasted. Smells like hay.
Hey. Hey. All right.
And that's that until we get the roast out.
And what's your favorite way to brew a cup of coffee?
A pour over.
What's your very favorite?
Use a funnel, and you pour the hot water over the grinds.
And why is it better than a drip coffee? Less plastic.
It is a form of drip coffee.
It is a form, you're right.
Yeah.
So it's more controlled than if you just plug in a machine and pour in the grinds. And
it depends on the machine. Some machines do
there's some good ones
pretty
now.
well to duplicate a hand pour over.
Okay.
But still, this you can control.
What about this fancy thing right here, this espresso machine? What are you gonna?
We
What
don't-
about that?
We don't use that very
Oh
much.
yes, you do. That's a nice espresso. That's some good espresso there. I say that's the way to go. Anything else you want to say about your hobby here? I think it's more than that.
It's very complicated, and there's a lot to learn about it. And there's a lot.
What's
written about
23?
it.
That's my favorite number. Oh, the drum temperature.
It's
very
2 minutes and
complicated.
39 seconds. of roasting.
What do you love about the whole thing? What brings you the most joy?
Controlling for it, turning out a good product, maintaining a best cup of coffee, which is ultimately the real reason you do it. And you do this, there are 16 steps to get a coffee, and then you roast it, and then you grind it, and there are a lot of different ways of grinding it depending on how long you've roasted the bean. So there's several things that happen even when after you make the roast correct, you still have to grind it the way you want it. If you want it stronger, you grind it finer. If you want it less strong, you grind it coarser.
All right.
So we're turning it. This is the drum speed. This is the heat profile. Here's the drum temperature and the bean temperature. There are a couple of probes in here that give you different temperatures. The drum has a lot to do with how it roasts. And the bean, of course, goes through a chemical reaction when it's heating. And ultimately it pops like a popcorn would. And that's the line, the cracked line you see in a roasted coffee bean.
Have you ever made cowboy coffee?
I've never made cowboy coffee.
But that's a good way too.
Yes.
You live in a cowboy state.
With an egg, put an egg in it, raw egg in the coffee.
Yeah.
It'll work if you were out in the prairie, I suppose. But there's really nice small AeroPress is a good
Yes, I like that.
portable, and you don't need to make a coffee.
Yeah.
Cowboy coffee.
Yeah, that's a little different.
So I'm just going to see how this goes.
All right, well, I'll stop this and I'll start it again when it's
And
done
then see
roasting.
this?
I think I'll stop it. And
Here's the trier that gives you the smell and the color of the coffee as it roasts.
as it roasts.
As
Ooh,
it roasts.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Between the coffee color here and the color in here, I make an approximation as to when it's time to dump the coffee and cool it.
Okay, small batch. Brought to you by David Shepard.